Uh-oh. The sickness continues. There's another Wharncliffe in the house, another Great Eastern Cutlery Wharncliffe. But guys, I have a good reason for this. I promise, I really do. Stay with me. We'll talk about this second number 47 Viper in my collection. Stick with me, guys. Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of Labor Day, 1 September 2014. And the second video of the evening and the second Wharncliffe video of the evening. I'm just not right. A rather limited in capability and application blade shape. One that I've had, my share of contempt for over the years. The Wharncliffe with its dead straight cutting edge, its super fine tip, lack of belly. Never had much use for it. I think I own like 6 of them now. It makes no sense. Maybe 7, I don't know. But got another one for you. And as I said, there is a good reason for this one. This is the number 470-114 Viper in smooth ivory bone, and I think it should say, it does, Tidioute Cutlery. Now you guys may remember, if you've been watching the channel, that I own another number 47 Viper, Northfield UN-X-LD in burnt sienna jigged bone. This is a Tidioute Viper. The main differences in the two trim levels of GEC are, in the Northfield UN-X-LD number 47 pattern, you get a mirror polished blade, lined bolster, and a Northfield UN-X-LD shield, and a really pronounced swage that starts about at the back of the nail nick and runs all the way to the tip. That swage, coupled with the mirror polished blade on the Northfield, remove from possibility this move right here, that pinch open. You know, not everybody's got fingernails and not everybody likes to use them to open their knife, even their traditional. Excuse me while I wipe. So for real world utility, if you're going to put a Northfield or a GEC Viper into daily use, and I learned this, not taking credit for this observation, learned this from Randy Johnson, Solo's Knife Reviews and Johnson Knives. You really kind of want this smaller swage, kind of barely perceptible swage, and the satin finish to facilitate that pinch open. And also, you know, it's just less dressy. Just all smooth, no jigging in the bone covers. Just kind of a knock around knife. I thought just a nice little leather thong lanyard just to facilitate extracting it from its knife ship free pocket slip. If you don't want to squeeze, you can just grab the lanyard to extract it. This knife I purchased from a sharpening customer, and it was essentially unused and unsharpened. Might have been carried and used a little bit, but it had an issue or two. The tip was not super sharp on this knife, and you guys know that GEC knives don't come with very good edges, so you know, needed a resharpen anyway, or it needed a proper sharpening anyway. So I did take some material off the spine just a little to facilitate the tip this knife should have. And the right side cover either had warped or this rivet wasn't tight from the factory or something, but I noticed after a couple days of picking it up and using it that this cover it had a click, you know, kind of like you'd push on it and it would click, you'd let go of it, it would click. It just moved ever so slightly. So in a box it went back to Titusville, Pennsylvania, and Great Eastern Cutlery fixed me right up. No more click, no more loose cover. Nothing but smooth ivory bone goodness with that wicked 3 1/16 long Wharncliffe blade, and that 3 7/8 inch handle. It's kind of a larger knife, and it really fits the hand great in that draw cut grip. In the overhand grip or the saber grip, not quite as good as the 92 Talon. You might remember me pointing that out in the Talon video. But we got a bigger, broader, longer blade and a more hand-filling handle on the draw cut in the Viper. I will tell you one thing, guys. I did lose a Wharncliffe to gain a Wharncliffe. Some of you may have noticed on my Instagram page a week or two ago, I sold, well, at the time, the only 2 Northwoods knives I had to get this one. Not really to get it, but my blue camel bone Fremont Jack and my blue camel bone Madison Barlow both were sold. My Fremont Jack was my least favorite Wharncliffe. I know I loved it when it came out, as lots of you all did. But I just found that the blade stock was too thick on the Fremont, and its saber grind I don't think really works well in a Wharncliffe. You know, you've got full thickness flats that run all the way out to here with a swage and then a saber grind, and it's just kind of thick for a Wharncliffe. And mine had developed a minor amount of side-to-side play. It just drove me nuts. Its new owner was happy to get it for about half of what you can buy a new one for. So I'm sure it'll get pressed into EDC service for him, and he will appreciate it more than I was appreciating it. So my Wharncliffe traditional collection is now, at least for a minute, exclusively Great Eastern Cutlery. Thought you guys would like to see this one. The smooth ivory bone covers have so much character in them, don't they? I think it just looks great with that little leather lanyard. What an awesome user. Still haven't brought myself to facilitate or allow any patina on this knife. I just can't do it, guys. It gets wiped, it gets cleaned, it gets flitzed, it gets oiled when it's put away. Sorry. Oh, does it cut? Let's see. Yeah. I think it does. There. Not too tough to make these 1095 GECs cut. I just do them 18 degrees per side all the way to the edge. Then my last phase, my last step before the strap, I just pick it up about 1/2 degree just for a deburring pass. Take my scratch pattern instead of sharpening this way. I come back into the blade just for a few passes, and then a couple sweeps back this in the normal direction, and then to the strap, and it makes it a razor, guys. And at 18 degrees, it's robust enough. Man, you don't need a super wide edge angle even on a thinly ground blade to make it hold up, because the cutting resistance is so low. There's no pressure on the edge in most of the things you're cutting. That's why these traditionals, although forgotten for a few years by most knife collectors and users, are coming back into fashion. We all sort of forgot how well they cut compared to the modern folders, the overbuilt stuff with real thick stock. They can't cut like these knives do. They just can't. Thought you'd like to see this one. What a classic, isn't it? Man, just beautiful. That's all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.